This is Uncensored Conservatism, episode number 182. We're going to go around the United States in less than 12 minutes, hopefully, and take a college campus tour. So let's see what's up in so-called higher education. Well, out in Hawaii, this has nothing to do with academia, but Senator Mazie Hirono continues to be batshit crazy. The University of San Diego is being sued for discriminatory scholarship programs that cater specifically to Filipinos, those of Mexican heritage, and black students, and exclude all other people. This is the way to do it, folks. Make them spend money justifying this shit. Ooh. Also at the University of San Diego, two researchers, shown here, published a study, and I shit you not, which is titled, quote, Conceptualizing Black Humanity Through Geopoetic Intimacy and Resistance, Memory Making with Geologic Materials. I think it has something to do with rocks and black people or something. I don't know. UCLA suspended two groups for their actions at an administrator's home in support of so-called Palestinian rights. The Students for Justice in Palestine and Graduate Students for Palestine vandalized his home and made threats. Suspended? They should have been banned. The University of California at Santa Cruz decided to double down on campus anti-Semitism by sponsoring an education department talk called, quote, Centering on Anti-Zionist Commitment in Teacher Education, end quote. Nearly 40% of the department's faculty agree with this. All that's missing, actually, is this. Yeah, no Jews allowed. All right, so this is Melissa Beatty Smooth, a former women's volleyball coach at San Jose State, who opposed Call Me Blair Fleming, a dude who identifies as a female, from competing on the female team. Although police are investigating, it seems someone fired a bullet through the window of her car while at her home. Crazy trannies with guns. Students at Colorado State University decided to cut class to protest that college's decision to abide by Trump's new anti-DEI policies. Considering that the college gets 40% of its funding from the federal government, this might be one of the most stupid protests recently. Student group College Republicans United at Arizona State University has encouraged students to report illegal immigrant students to ICE. That didn't sit too well with the student body, who decided to protest one afternoon in support of their illegal immigrant brethren. Although 750 people signed up for the protest, police estimated the crowd at no more than 150. The Turning Point USA chapter at Southern Methodist in Texas is petitioning the university to allow the concealed carrying of firearms on campus. It's allowed on public universities, but SMU is private. Texas Tech is testing the DEI waters by continuing a course named Diversity and Cultural Competence in the Workplace. Apparently, they will be educated about their inherent biases. I mean, seriously, it's in the syllabus. Okay, so the idiots at Colorado State have nothing on those at the University of Minnesota, demanding the college reverse its decision to cooperate with ICE, and in fact declare the college a sanctuary campus. All 100 of them showed up in freezing temperatures. Eastern Illinois University decided to kick off Black History Month by ceremoniously raising the Black Lives Matter flag. Yeah, Black Power and all that. Faculty took time out from whatever they do to protest alleged cuts to government grants that haven't happened yet at the University of Illinois in Chicago. Maybe they should be teaching in the classroom instead of marching with really stupid signs. In Indiana, Purdue University's student newspaper decided to remove the names and photos of pro-Palestinian protesters, fearing they will be targeted for deportation. There is no word on whether the names and photos of pro-Israel student protesters will be taken down, fearing they will be targeted for violence. The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CARE, has designated Indiana University as a hostile campus for Muslim students because of criticisms expressed against quote-unquote anti-genocide protesters, otherwise known as pro-terrorist protesters. Meanwhile, 60 protesters also at Indiana U took to the streets to decry the Trump administration's brutality and dehumanization of the illegal immigrant community. Like their brethren in Minnesota, they also want a sanctuary campus. And public colleges in Iowa have eliminated the plethora of choices for sex on your college application, and the only options will be male and female. So count on Midwestern Iowa for some fucking common sense here. Speaking of some good news, 2 female law students at George Mason University in Virginia won a lawsuit against the college after they were sanctioned for expressing their opposition to the absurdity of placing tampons in male bathrooms on campus to appease aspiring transgender lawyers. So, yeah, that's good news. More good news, the University of North Carolina decided to end all DEI efforts in any course offering, effective immediately. The university receives $1.4 billion in critical research funding from the federal government. Yep, money talks, folks. Duke University held a job fair. That seemed to trigger some grievance groups like illegal immigrants, blacks, and Muslims because ICE was there recruiting potential employees. It was declared a societal attack against our humanity. University of Arkansas has decided to end a cooperative agreement with Walmart called the BIPOC Mentor Circle, which seems kind of discriminatory against non-BIPOC people to me, but, that could just be me. So if you want to know how to avoid state abortion bans or let your transgender freak flag fly, Ithaca College in New York has an intersectional feminist course for you. However, it must be one boring piece of shit since 13 people signed up for it and 3 have since dropped out. The Professors Union at CUNY has decided to remove all their investments from Israeli stocks and bonds by the end of next year. They did so citing Israeli violence against the scum in Gaza. However, the Professional Staff Congress rescinded the resolution. New York University's welcome back students to campus with a climate mixer that featured, in all seriousness, a demonstration on plant meditation. Students even got a free plant in the deal. So that's your student fees at work. The U.S. House Committee on Education is demanding that the disciplinary records of students involved in anti-Semitic activity on campus at Columbia University. Just this month, protesters interrupted an Israeli lecturer's discussion with a demonstration. All right, so 3 actual female swimmers at the University of Pennsylvania have sued the college over their decision to allow Call Me Leah Thomas, an obvious male, compete as a woman. They want all his winning performances overturned. Speaking of which, Call Me Sarah McBride of Delaware, who went to American University in D.C., still has a dick and balls. Andrea Bonner of Georgetown University reports she is seeing an uptick in liberal clients who simply can't handle the anxiety of a Trump administration. We told you Trump derangement syndrome was a mental disorder, but you wouldn't believe us. Wellesley College in Massachusetts is coming under fire from Catholic groups for a course called Queer Bible that tries to read some acceptance of homosexuality into the Bible. Now, I just wonder if they have a course called the Queer Quran. I'm guessing they don't. I mean, because even liberal college professors like their heads attached to their necks. Students for Justice in Palestine decided to set up an encampment at Bowdoin College in Massachusetts and take over a building. That protest, it lasted all of 2 days after leaders of the group were suspended. Actions work better than talk and threats. Jared May, who works for Boston University, got in some trouble when the dope decided to post a wanted dead or alive poster of Doge members. Yeah, this dude's not too bright. That same university, Boston University, and MIT are tightening their budgets in anticipation of funding cuts from the Trump administration. I doubt this is going to garner much sympathy from the public. At Harvard University, students got their way when the student food halls announced they would cease weekend pub nights that offer things like wings, pizza, and burgers, and will return to a menu of tofu and grains, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, college students don't like pizza, go figure. Dartmouth University has decided to adopt an institutional restraint policy preferring that administrators not weigh in on hot button political and social issues of the day. Good for them because nobody really wants to hear their opinions anyway. All right. In Dickhead, Sheldon Whitehouse's Rhode Island, it was reported that Brown University's medical school places a greater emphasis on diversity than actual clinical skills. You know, the things that make people healthy that doctors are supposed to do. Not only that, but promotions at that very school of faculty are likewise based on diversity and not performance. Now, Brown faces some serious financial problems, and this could be why. Just saying. Meanwhile, at the University of Connecticut, Plan B contraceptives will now be available in a vending machine. So now you can get a can of Coke, a Snickers bar, and a contraceptive at the nearest vending machine on campus, just in case you decided to screw instead of study. But not to be outdone with that, the Women's Center at UConn held a rope bondage clinic for Sexual Liberation Week festivities that was led by a quote-unquote seasoned kinkster. It teaches different knots and proper rope handling. I mean, Jesus Christ, didn't the Boy Scouts also do this? Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thanks, have a great day, and a more pleasant tomorrow.